As to the history of Philadelphia, I mean, there's no way I could possibly do it justice sitting here with you right now. Anywhere there's people, there's struggle. Anywhere there's people, there's going to be resistance. Anywhere there's oppression, there's going to be an attempt to unify. So Philly's seen a lot of struggle, and you'll see it if you're walking around this neighborhood here in Kensington, North Philly. This place has been more or less abandoned by the establishment in many ways. You can feel the effects of deindustrialization and the tech boom in our economy here. There's just vacant housing, vacant warehouses, people are out of work, the jails are filling up, and the heroin epidemic, this is ground zero. So it's hard to look at a situation like this and say there was this glorious struggle or something, but there was, and in a lot of ways it just lost. Thinking about the 60s and 70s, we're talking about the time of the Black Panther Party. We're talking about the time of the Young Lords, whose office was 3 doors down from our own right here. Some of our programming even mirrors that of the Young Lords in the sense that they used to do street cleans over here because they never clean these streets. They're filthy. It's one huge construction site for developers. And they would leave all the trash there in the intersection right on York and Dauphin. And so we do our own street cleans and syringe pickups, and we often take propagandistic pictures in front of the developers who are causing this. You know, these big developers come in here and they turn our entire neighborhood into a construction site. Meanwhile, there's people sort of nakedly suffering in the street with addiction and like homelessness, lack of employment, lack of opportunity. There's so much struggle here because there's so much neglect. And the PSL hopes to figure as a kind of anchor to push that struggle forward towards revolutionary socialism, towards all power for the people as opposed to just concessions with the bosses and the landlords and the like. And we do believe that a party structure like that, a Bolshevik-style party, a revolutionary party, can serve to unify a lot of these movements like that are happening all around the city in terms like spontaneously in terms of the objective conditions in that part of the city. What does it mean to serve the people? That is a very good question, and it's one that requires, I think, a more nuanced answer than I'm fully prepared to give here off the cuff. But serve the people programs have historically been used by revolutionary socialist parties as a method of outreach, as a method of showing the people the character of the politics that they're espousing. So the Black Panther Party, we might remember, again, a party that we take very seriously, whose practice we study very closely, and in a lot of ways seek to emulate in our own practice, used the Serve the People programs, i.e. the free breakfast for children program, the free busing to prison program, the free sickle cell test program, the free health clinic, the free schools, and so much more, free gyms as well, free range days, to show the neighborhood, to show the community of unpoliticized people who the Panthers were. Because if you didn't know that, you might think, oh, those are like these crazy extremist dudes with guns. Same here. We're in this place in Kensington. We're in this office here where we just have portraits of Che Guevara, Lucy Parsons, Thomas Sankara, and Frida Kahlo and whatnot. And anybody walking by who hasn't had the political education sufficient to understanding why these are our heroes, heroes of the working class, they don't even know what to do with a place like this, you know? They don't even know what to come in here and pretend they're shopping for so that they can come talk to us. So we have to find ways to be outward facing and maintain our mass perspective, by which I mean that our politics is guided by the masses, by the needs of the masses of people, that we can learn from the masses of people the more exigent aspects of what they're dealing with in the day-to-day way. As to the question of why should the proletariat fight, why should the proletariat defend itself? Now, let's be very clear about what we mean by fight. Should the proletariat fight in the sense of fighting the power and in the sense of struggling for freedom, struggling for emancipation from the chains of this like settler colonial hellscape that we've sort of happened to be born in? Absolutely, without question. I think that increasingly this is not a question of one's voluntary will, it's a question of necessity. We have to fight. We have to fight for our brothers and sisters who are in prison and in jail. We have to fight for our brothers and sisters who are in the immigration detention camps down on the southern border. We have to fight for our brothers and sisters in the Middle East who are constantly under the threat of drone strikes, dropping tons and tons of bombs, even in many other places. But In that sense, why do they have to fight? Or why do they have to fight? Absolutely. We have to, because if we don't, it means the death of the people who are living like us, who we have absolute unity with. Should the working class fight in this sense of physical one-on-one fighting? Well, we don't train people to go fight anybody at People Power Gym. We might teach boxing, we might teach jujitsu, teach striking and Muay Thai, and teach people, give people better cardio and strength, but never in the service of going out and fighting strangers, right? But we do think that people will accomplish two things by learning martial arts with us. They will accomplish, on the one hand, a sense of confidence and self-esteem, the ability to defend themselves if absolutely necessary. And two, it will give them a sense of community, which part of our tagline has always been that community is the first line of self-defense. That's something that we socialists call solidarity, that the people are going to be there for you when the system fails you. You see what I'm saying? Is that when I'm in trouble, I can call my comrades much faster than I can call the Philadelphia Police Department, right? I trust that my comrades won't put me in handcuffs and lock me in somebody's bathroom for years on basic, legalistic stipulation or whatever. So we have to give people the opportunity to come together, to get to know each other, to trust each other enough, to wrestle each other, to box with each other, to learn from each other, and to learn with each other. And in that pedagogical sort of level, what we're doing is we're trying to create people power, right? We're trying not to create individual action movie badasses, right? Because you can be John Jones or Conor McGregor. If you try to operate in this world as an individual under the mountain of this bourgeois, liberal, individualist ideology, you're going to be alienated, you're going to feel alone, you're not going to have this power, because power can only come from the people. And who is their enemy? Their enemy is the capitalist class. Their enemy is the system which prioritizes super profits over the quality of the lives of the great masses of people, right? One thing I'd like to leave people with is that even if it's just starting a community fitness program or a community martial arts program, if you have any skill, you can lend it to the struggle. You can find a way that it'll make sense for the struggle. From artists to fighters, from mechanics to painters, we need everybody, because everybody is the working class.